Ohm's law. German physicist George Simon Ohm found out that there is a special relationship between electric current flowing through a metallic wire and the potential difference which is applied across its terminals at constant temperature and other physical conditions. George Simon Ohm stated that the electric current which is flowing through a metallic conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its terminals. So let us see an experimental setup in order to prove that I is directly proportional to V under certain conditions. So in this experimental setup, you can see an ammeter, a voltmeter, a few cells of 1.5 volts each. There is a key which is connected here, and there is a resistor here, and all these are connected by means of nichrome wire. You will find that the ammeter is connected in series, whereas the voltmeter is connected in parallel in the circuit. Now, what will the voltmeter do? The voltmeter will measure the voltage or the potential difference applied across the terminals. Ammeter will measure the amount of current that is flowing through the circuit. Initially, when the experiment starts, we have to begin with one cell in the circuit. Take the reading which is shown by voltmeter and ammeter. Then introduce or fix two cells in the circuit. Once again, show the reading which is shown by the voltmeter and the ammeter. Then fix three cells, note down the readings, four cells, note down the readings, and so on. So, when one cell is connected in the circuit, see number of cells 1. Note down the potential difference which is shown by the voltmeter and the current which is shown by the ammeter. So suppose here the voltmeter is showing a potential difference of 5 volts and the current through the wire is 1 ampere. Now put all these readings in the tabular form and find out the ratio V upon I. So if I take V upon I, V is 5 upon I is 1, so 5 upon 1 will be is equal to 5 ohms. Now connect two cells in the circuit and note down the reading which is shown by voltmeter and the ammeter. Voltmeter shows a reading of 10 volts and the current in the ammeter is 2 amperes. Find out V upon I, that is 10 by 2, which is equal to 5 ohms. Now connect three cells in the circuit. The voltmeter reading is 15 volts. Current is 3 amperes. So V upon I will be 15 upon 3, which is equal to 5 ohms. Connect four cells in the circuit and note down the reading shown by voltmeter and current and the ammeter. The reading shown by the voltmeter is 20 volts and the ammeter shows a reading of 4 amperes. So V upon I will be 20 by 4 is equal to 5 ohms. Now you will find that this ratio V upon I is a constant value. Okay, and if we plot a graph of V against I and observe the nature of the graph, we will find that the graph is a straight line which passes through the origin. In this graph, we have taken voltage along the x-axis and current against the y-axis, and the readings which are shown by the ammeter and the voltmeter are recorded in the graph, where you can see that the graph is a straight line passing through the origin. What does it indicate? That V upon I is a constant value. So what do we understand from this table? That as current increases, the potential difference also goes on increasing, isn't it? Or if we go on decreasing the current, the potential difference also decreases with the current. That means current is directly proportional to potential difference. So as I said, electric current is directly proportional to the potential difference. So I, if you remove the proportionality sign and take equal to, we will have to take a proportionality constant. And here the proportionality constant taken is 1 by R into V, where R is the resistance of the conductor. If I multiply 1 and R by cross multiplication, 1 into R, it will be is equal to V. So V is equal to IR. This is the expression for Ohm's law, where I is the resistance, where I is the current, R is the resistance of the conductor, and V is the potential difference which is applied across its ends. So what is the statement of Ohm's law? The statement says that the electric current which is flowing through a metallic conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference which is applied across its terminals, provided, this is very important, the physical conditions of the conductor. So suppose you have two conductors, you connect the conductors one by one in the circuit. The length of the conductors, the area of cross section of the conductor, the temperature and the material of the conductor should be constant. That means suppose you have two conductors, then these two conductors for which you will take the reading for I and V, these two conductors should have same length, same cross sectional area, they should be at the same temperature and they should be made up of same material. So what is the statement for Ohm's law? The electric current flowing from metallic conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its terminals. This condition is very, very important, provided physical conditions of the conductor such as length, area of cross section, temperature and material remains constant. So if I is the current and V is the potential difference applied across the ends of the conductor, then I is proportional to V. I will be is equal to 1 upon R into V, where when that is 1 upon R you will get as a proportionality constant because you are removing the proportionality sign where R is a constant. So 1 into R is equal to V. So V is equal to IR. Now since IR is equal to V, R will be is equal to V upon I, isn't it? So what will happen to resistance if you decrease the current? So children, if R is equal to V upon I, then there will be an inverse relationship between resistance and current. So if you are decreasing the current, then resistance will increase, or if you are increasing the current, then resistance will decrease in the circuit. So this is the circuit diagram for Ohm's law, which is very, very important. When you are asked to explain or write down the Ohm's law, you have to draw the circuit diagram. The components shown in the circuit diagram are the ammeter, the battery, the resistance and the voltmeter, which are all connected by means of a nichrome wire maybe or a copper wire. The voltmeter is connected in parallel with the resistance and the ammeter is connected in series along with the resistance. Okay, these connections are very, very important. The positive terminal of the battery is connected to the positive terminal of the ammeter. The negative terminal of the ammeter is connected to the positive terminal of the voltmeter. The negative terminal of the voltmeter is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So this is the experimental setup for Ohm's law. Let us take an activity based question. P and Q are two wires of same length. They have different cross sectional area and made up of same material. So name the property which is same for both the conductors and also name the property which is different for both the conductors. Now you always keep one thing in mind, that if there are conductors which are made up of same material, then they have same resistivity, because the value of resistivity for a given material is a constant value. For example, if you have two wires, three wires which are made up of copper, then all of them will have same resistivity. Or you have two or three wires which are made up of iron, they will have the same resistivity. So in this question, if there are two wires P and Q which are made up of same length, different cross sectional area and same material, which property will be same? Of course, resistivity of the two wires P and Q will be same. But which property will be different for both the conductors? It will be resistance. Why? Because in Ohm's law we have studied that if there are conductors which are having same length, same cross sectional area, made up of same material and having same temperature, then only their resistance will be constant. But here there are two wires which have same length, they have same material, they are made up of same material, but see, they are different, their cross sectional area is different. So if the cross sectional area is different, that means the physical conditions are changing, the physical conditions are not constant. That means these two wires P and Q will have different resistances. Let's take up the second activity based question. Here you can see there are some materials which are given in the tabular form and their resistivity is given. As I said, resistivity for a given material is a constant value. For example, copper has a resistivity of 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. nichrome 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter, silver has a resistivity of 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter, diamond has a very high resistivity in the range of 1.62 into 10 raised to 13 to 1.62 into 10 raised to 18 ohm meter. So if the resistivity of some materials is given to us, which material will be the best conductor of electricity, of course, for the same length, same cross-sectional area and same temperature. Remember, the material which has least resistivity is considered as the best conductor of electricity, and the material which has highest resistivity is considered as the bad conductor of electricity. So out of copper, nichrome, silver and diamond, you will find that silver has the least resistivity of 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Therefore, silver is the best conductor of electricity. And if you are asked which is the bad conductor of electricity, here you will find diamond has a highest resistivity in the range 1.62 into 10 raised to 13 to 1.62 into 10 raised to 18 ohm meter. That means diamond is the bad conductor of electricity out of these four materials which are given to us.